Christopher Columbus, the man who would forever alter the course of history, emerged from humble beginnings. Born in Genoa, Italy in 1451, Columbus entered a world on the cusp of change. The Mediterranean was a bustling hub of trade, and Genoa stood as a prominent maritime republic. Columbus's early life was steeped in the seafaring tradition. He embarked on voyages across the Mediterranean, gaining valuable experience in navigation and seamanship. These early journeys ignited within him a thirst for exploration and a desire to reach the East. Columbus's ambitions extended beyond mere trade. He was a man of deep faith, influenced by the prevailing religious beliefs of his time. Columbus, like many of his contemporaries, believed in a world that was coming to an end. The Book of Revelation, with its vivid descriptions of the apocalypse, fueled his imagination. He saw himself as a key player in this cosmic drama, a man destined to spread Christianity to the ends of the earth. Driven by these ambitions, Columbus began to conceive of a daring plan to reach the East by sailing west. This idea, considered preposterous by many, was rooted in Columbus's miscalculations about the Earth's circumference. He believed the world to be much smaller than it actually is, underestimating the vastness of the Atlantic Ocean. Columbus's early life, shaped by the maritime world, religious fervor, and a thirst for exploration, laid the foundation for his momentous voyages. His unwavering belief in his mission, however misguided, would propel him across the Atlantic and into the annals of history. Columbus's ambitious plan to reach the East by sailing west required more than just conviction. It needed funding. He sought patronage from various European courts, presenting his case with unwavering confidence. Years of rejections followed, as potential patrons balked at his demands and questioned the feasibility of his plan. It was in the Spanish court of King Ferdinand II of Aragon and Queen Isabella I of Castile that Columbus finally found the support he desperately sought. The Spanish monarchs, known collectively as the Catholic monarchs, were a powerful force in Europe. They had recently completed the Reconquista, the centuries-long struggle to expel the Moors from the Iberian Peninsula. This victory, coupled with their devout Catholic faith, fueled their desire to spread Christianity and expand their empire. Columbus's proposition, with its promise of new lands and potential converts, piqued their interest. The Catholic monarchs agreed to finance Columbus's expedition, though not without hesitation. The risks were high, and the potential rewards uncertain. However, the allure of new trade routes to the East, coupled with the prospect of spreading Christianity, proved too tempting to resist. In 1492, after years of lobbying and setbacks, Columbus set sail from Palos de la Frontera with the support of the Spanish crown. This partnership between Columbus and the Catholic monarchs marked the beginning of a new era in world history. It set in motion a chain of events that would reshape the globe, forever linking the destinies of Europe and the Americas. In 1492, Christopher Columbus embarked on his first voyage across the Atlantic, a journey that would forever change the course of history. His small fleet, consisting of the Niña, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, braved the unknown waters of the Atlantic, guided by Columbus's unwavering belief in his mission. After weeks at sea, land was sighted, a moment of triumph and relief for Columbus and his crew. They had reached the Bahamas, an archipelago in the Caribbean Sea, though Columbus mistakenly believed he had arrived in the East Indies. Columbus's first voyage was followed by 3 more expeditions, each funded by the Spanish crown. These voyages took him further into the Caribbean, exploring islands such as Cuba, Hispaniola, present-day Haiti, and the Dominican Republic, and Jamaica. He established settlements, interacted with indigenous populations, and claimed vast territories for Spain. Columbus's voyages were not without their challenges and controversies. He faced mutinies, shipwrecks, and conflicts with the indigenous populations he encountered. His belief that he had reached Asia persisted, despite mounting evidence to the contrary. He returned to Spain a hero after his first voyage, laden with tales of new lands and exotic peoples. However, subsequent voyages were marred by accusations of mismanagement, brutality, and failure to find the riches he had promised. Despite the controversies, Columbus's voyages ushered in a new era of exploration and colonization. They opened up the Americas to European exploration, exploitation, and ultimately, domination. His journeys marked the beginning of a complex and often tragic encounter between two worlds. an encounter that continues to shape the global landscape today. Christopher Columbus's voyages were driven by a complex interplay of motivations, with religious fervor and economic ambition at the forefront. Columbus lived in an era consumed by millennialism, a belief that the end of the world was imminent, followed by 1,000 years of peace and the second coming of Christ. This apocalyptic worldview permeated his thinking, influencing his interpretation of Scripture and his understanding of his own role in history. Columbus saw himself as a divinely chosen instrument, tasked with spreading Christianity to the ends of the earth and preparing the way for Christ's return. He believed that the wealth he would acquire from his voyages would finance a new crusade to reclaim Jerusalem for Christendom. His writings are replete with religious imagery and biblical references, revealing the depth of his faith and his conviction that he was fulfilling a divine mandate. However, alongside this religious zeal, Columbus was also driven by a thirst for gold and a desire for personal glory. He promised his royal patrons unimaginable riches, claiming that the lands he discovered were abundant in gold, spices, and other valuable commodities. He envisioned himself as a wealthy and powerful viceroy, ruling over the lands he claimed for Spain. Columbus's motivations were a complex blend of faith and fortune, of spiritual yearning and material ambition. He was a man of his time, shaped by the prevailing religious beliefs and economic aspirations of his era. His voyages, driven by this potent mix of motives, had far-reaching consequences, forever altering the course of world history.